Hey there, it's Dr. Michelle, and I just wanted to make a quick video about reintroducing foods after you've been on the elimination diet for a minimum of 3 weeks, preferably 4 weeks. So this means following the diet pretty consistently where you're avoiding the foods not on the elimination diet food list. So this is like avoiding wheat and grains and dairy and nuts and eggs and all of the potentially commonly allergenic foods. This is a good way to determine foods that you're sensitive to without doing one of those expensive blood tests. So you can also do a food allergy test, and that's a more definitive way and a quicker way to learn if you have a food sensitivity. But the elimination diet is really a no-nonsense, mindful approach to determining what the best food plan is for you, and really getting a really closely monitored, mindful, and solid idea of how food affects your health, your mood, your energy levels, and your appearance. So after you've been on the elimination diet for a minimum of 21 days, preferably a month, you're going to reintroduce foods that you've been avoiding. So what you're going to do is one food at a time in the simplest, most natural format. You're going to introduce that food on the first day of reintroduction. You'll pick just one food. So I usually like to say whatever you've been missing the longest. If it's milk, you can reintroduce milk. If it's cheese, you can reintroduce cheese. If it's bread, you can do that. And so you're going to eat a generous portion of that food a few times during that day. And then you're going to stick to the elimination diet as it's written, outside of just reintroducing that one food. So it's really important that if you are reintroducing, let's say, bread, that you don't pick pizza, because pizza, it contains both wheat and dairy. So you want to pick single foods. So whether it be bread or a cracker or some other gluten-containing thing, but not for, let's say, like Cheerios that have multiple ingredients. You just want one ingredient foods. So if it's bread, just bread. Try to make sure it has no added sugars, that it's not like a honey something bread, that it's just as simple as possible. So you're going to reintroduce that food for day one. You're going to make some notes on the tracker sheet that we've provided so that you can identify if you're having any changes to your energy level, changes to your mood, changes to your digestion, your skin, anything that you're noticing that's a negative effect. So you're going to make note of that day one. Then day two, you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to eat that same food. You're going to eat the rest of the foods on your elimination diet plan. And if you have no reactions, then that food is now part of your diet. So you're going to continue with the elimination diet plan plus that food that you didn't have any negative effects to, and now you're going to add your second food in. So maybe you added cheese the first day, and the next day you're going to add wheat. And day two, you eat your elimination diet food plan plus the cheese plus the wheat. And you do that again for day three. So this is day 3 and day 4. And let's say you have a negative reaction to the wheat. So now the wheat is off the table and the cheese is still in. You're going to go to your next food item. So maybe this is almonds. So you're going to eat your almonds on day 5 and 6. If there's no reactions, now you have cheese plus almonds plus everything else on the elimination diet plan. Wheat is off the table. So you're going to continue through all the foods that you have omitted, making sure to add in the simplest way of consuming that food. So like things like coffee, it would have to be coffee without sugar or cream to see if that food is a problem. Once you get through all the foods, you're going to go, for instance, dairy. You tested cheese. You may want to test different types of cheese in the same fashion. You may want to test goat milk versus cow's milk, because you might have a reaction to, let's say, mozzarella cheese, but not to cheddar. So it's really important to test systematically each thing, because you spent a lot of time doing the elimination diet and you really want to get the best results. So you're going to test all the different foods, and you're going to include the ones in your diet that are safe foods with no reactions. You're going to keep track on your tracker sheets each day, and you're going to eliminate the foods that do still cause reactions. Now, you're going to keep these foods out of your diet for 3 to 6 months, and then you can try reintroducing them again. Because as you go through the GLOW protocol and you continue to heal your body, sensitivities will fall off and you'll be able to enjoy more and more things as your body continues to heal. I do recommend that gluten is just kept out of the diet because it is very damaging to both your gut and your brain health. There's a lot of studies that show that it's really not that beneficial of a food. So if you can leave it out, even if you don't show a reaction to it, in my opinion, it's the most beneficial to at least avoid it or limit it at most times, and maybe just enjoy it a few times during the year if it's something that you don't react to. So hopefully that makes some sense on how to add foods or reintroduce foods back into your diet after being on the elimination diet. Now, like I mentioned, those foods that do still cause reactions, just make a list of those, and you'll have those as your problematic foods, and you're going to omit them from any future recipes and meal plans. You're going to remember to test those back in very much the same fashion that you're doing this reintroduction. You'll test one food at a time for a period of 2 days, note any symptoms, and then move on to the next food. Now, if you're dealing with any gut infections, any parasites, amoebas, funguses, bacterial overgrowths, anything like that, you may want to wait until you're done with your treatment and your mucosal barrier repair protocol before doing your reintroductions, only because typically there's going to be more sensitivities with damage to the gut. So hopefully that makes some sense. You can go ahead and go back to this elimination diet at any time when you start to experience any symptoms or you're having a hard time dealing with. You have access to this program. So definitely, go back to this time and time again. And if you're still kind of struggling, we can always run a food sensitivity test to give us some more information about what foods you should be avoiding. So hopefully that helps. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.